Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Thanos, number 15. I wanted to show this because, everybody and their brother knows who Thanos is these days, so I thought we'd take a look, revisit some Thanos from the comics. So the premise of this comic is, premise. Thanos is an Eternal, so, and as such, he never dies. So this is millions, if not billions of years in the future. So this is future Thanos. All right, so this is issue 15, as old Purple Puss himself, and I forget what year it is. Does it say? No, but it's $3.99 cover price. And notice that there's no Comics Code Authority anymore on these Marvel comics. This is a pretty recent Marvel comic, recent as far as my channel and my collection goes, because I stopped collecting Marvel comics in 2017. But this is Thanos number 15, March 2018. This one, I stopped Marvel cold turkey, and I think I stopped this issue around 9, and I recently bought all the back issues. So there you go. I heard it was good, so I wanted to finish it out. Plus, I don't know. It bothers me when I find that a comic's been canceled and I don't have them all. So because I'm crazy that way. But here we have a nice advertisement for Doctor Strange, and this is the splash page. So the story goes this is Thanos. Future set Thanos, or present Thanos, as the comic is set in the future, and then he calls past Thanos, which is like our Thanos, and so he uses time travel to bring him up. So now there's two Thanoses next to each other, his past self and his future self, and there's Cosmic Ghost Rider. Why is he calling him? He's been dragged to the end of time by the mad Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's him. Come face to face with himself, King Thanos. So King Thanos is the future Thanos, to find and the final conqueror. Despite his victory, King Thanos sustained a loss that he cannot bear, that of his only love, death, and now he demands the help. So death has abandoned him. Now he's calling his past self to see, what can he do to win back Death's love. So this is Donny Cates, the writer. He's like the current hotness over at Marvel these days. He's like, I think, Marvel's biggest selling author right now. Jeff Shaw, I don't know anything about this gentleman's art, although otherwise it's good. And the covers, Antonio Fabela. I'll go back to the cover. I wanted to say something. And the colors are nice. Jeff Shaw and Antonio Fabela. And then here's all the editors. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 editors and a president. So let me go back to the cover. At first glance, I was like, yeah, this cover is great. And then the more I look at it, the more it bothers me. Okay, I don't mind the Hulk. This is like old Hulk. This is a billion years old. He's like senile, and it's kind of sad to see him. Seems like his mind is destroyed. Cosmic Ghost Rider, that's fine over here. But this time, his head is freaking tiny. I know he's supposed to have a big body, but man, it looks weird. Give him a big body and a big head. And then this drives me nuts. Look at all this empty space over here. This is the cover. Jack Kirby would have filled this all up. Jim Starlin would have filled this all up. This is just, I don't know. They could have squished this up, made the words bigger, but it's just too much wasted space on the cover. And that's how I feel about Marvel in general these days. Too much wasted space. Now, I mean, look at this. Okay, here's an ad. This is the first page of the comic. It's credits. It's just a wasted page. And here's another ad. So this is the splash page, and 3 pages in, and that's pretty cool. Look at that. That's a pretty cool picture. That's Ghost Rider staring right at me. I'm getting Ghost Rider's pennant stare. So Ghost Rider, I don't recall when they started, but it wasn't one of his original powers. And like I've said since the beginning of this channel, power creep happens, meaning that superheroes get more and more powerful all the time. And it's kind of cool. Sometimes they get a little too powerful, and the Superman syndrome. When a superhero gets too powerful, they kind of lose their excitement. You want to see them struggle. You want to see them overcome odds. That's why I think guys like Captain America or Spider-Man, they're in the sweet spot. They're powerful, but they're not all powerful. So the fun is, they're going to win. I mean, it's comic books, and that's Captain America, Spider-Man. But the fun is in seeing the cleverness of the story and how it unfolds. So what am I I'm talking about Ghost Rider. So one of Ghost Rider's powers, and it's a cool power for Ghost Rider, since he's like an avenging angel or whatever, is if you stare into Ghost Rider's eyes, you oh, my voice just cracked. That was weird. I guess I hit puberty finally. If you stare into Ghost Rider's eyes, you see the sum total of all your sins, and you're challenged by it. And he stared into the eyes of Galactus and defeated Galactus. He just, and most people can't deal with it. They succumb to their inadequacies, their sins, their guilt, and stuff like that. What does Thanos do? He stares into the penance stare every day. He takes the skull of Ghost Rider and stares into it, and he sees the thousands upon millions, if not billions, of people that he killed. His rage, his destruction, everything that he's done, like just going around smashing people, torturing people, heads on spikes, destroyed planets. And what does he do? They are his fondest memories. Beautiful. He smiles. He thinks it's great. That is Thanos. Thanos is a bad guy. This is why the comic book Thanos is a better villain than the movie villain. They fundamentally didn't understand Thanos in the movies, or they made him stupid. They made him a stupid, some villains just are bad. You don't sympathize with them. You're not supposed to sympathize with them. And Thanos is one of those villains. He's obsessed with killing, and he loves death, and that's it. He offered her half the universe just as a sacrifice to show how much he loves death. That's it. He's a serial killer. He's a eternal, mass murdering, cosmic powered serial killer, and that's it. No. He has no illusions of good guidance. I just hit the phone. I'm sorry. He doesn't want to save anybody. He doesn't care about the universe's resources, and that makes him a terrifying force of nature, horrible villain. So here he tosses back the head to Ghost Rider, and he goes, "You do this every day?" He goes, "Yes." So this is our Thanos, present day Thanos, just staring into it. And this is King Thanos. I'm going to call him King Thanos for now on, just to distinguish him from regular Thanos. And he's just eating, and he's like, "Did you like it? Did you?" Because it's great. You do that every day. More ads, a lot of ads. And he's just like, it's beautiful. I love that you do that. He goes, "Yeah, that's why I keep him around every day. I stare into him. The apprentice stare, I get a joy out of it." And he's just like, "Yeah, okay, but what do you want?" And he goes, "I'm kind of disappointed. You're moping around," and that's just it. So he's like, "I called you from the past because I want to know how to win back death." And he's just like, "You?" Oh, he goes, "What could possibly stir so much fear in the heart of?" Oh, so now I jumped ahead. He needs help. Who? I fought everybody. There's only one left, the fallen one. He's like, you can't be serious. You brought all the way here to help you fight some forgotten herald, a herald of Galactus. Be careful. I certainly did not bring you here to argue with me, boy. The fallen one is near, and as its current speed, he shall arrive shortly after the sun falls. So he needs help fighting. And Thanos doesn't like asking for help. And the only person he could ask help for and have a certain amount of decorum is himself. Kind of shows you how arrogant he is. And of course his past self is just like, this is ridiculous. And he's like, also I want, Lady Death. I haven't seen Lady Death in almost 1,000,000 years. And he's just like, regular Thanos is like, "Oh, you still like her? Who cares about her? I blew her off. Enough's enough. Wasting time after a damsel is beneath us." And King Thanos goes, "Oh, you're at that stage. I remember that." He goes, "But you still love her." He goes, "You're just in denial." And then regular Thanos just like puts his eyes down. So he's like, "We got to go feed the dog." Poor Hulk. The Hulk is just, millions upon millions of years old. The Banner form is dead, and he's this senile, Alzheimer's Hulk. Just like, whimpering around. Powerful as ever, but his mind is mush. That's so sad. And his cosmic Ghost Rider, he's just been, there's like nothing for him to do than just walk around, and King Thanos just keeps him around because he loves that penance stare. So and he's just like, "Yeah, I went insane." He goes, "You go insane after a while. I used to be a totally different guy, all dark and broody and mysterious like a real downer. If you met me back in the day, you would have never recognized me. I just don't mean Just don't mean because of all the melted face, flamey skull stuff either. Sometime in hell, a few hundred years, there's a herald of Galactus and a couple million more hanging out with you-know-who. Makes the fella go hilariously insane. He goes, do I know you? He goes, oh, I'm being rude. Let me introduce myself. I'm Frank Castle. Dun, dun, dun. So there you go. Cosmic Ghost Rider, the herald of Galactus, and now the companion of King Thanos is the Punisher. You know, I was going to say Punisher never in a million years would be like this, but, you know, he is only human, and we're talking millions and millions of years later, so who knows? You know, whatever. He goes, I do not know the name. It's kind of funny, because think about it. Why would Thanos know anything about the Punisher? I do not know the name. Figures. So I thought that was kind of funny. So here they are, they're getting ready for the fallen one, you know. And he puts a black rose at the foot of the statue of death, you know, because, you know, Thanos is too cool to admit that he has a schoolboy crush, whereas King Thanos knows it's really the only thing that matters, his burning love. And now they're suiting up and getting ready, and he's just like, this is Surtur's sword, Twilight. I just like the little bit, but that's what Carrie Bates' strong points, is tying these little things of continuity together. So here's Thanos. He's got the flaming sword called Twilight that Surtur created in the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. I did a showcase on that a little while ago. So I just like that. This all-powerful sword that was forged in the heart of a supernova, you know, and King Thanos has it. And even our Thanos, regular Thanos, is impressed. You know, look at the smile. And they're both like, you know, he goes, we're ready? I apologize for my tone, Lord Thanos. You know, I guess President Thanos has got to realize that if anybody could give him a run for its money, it's himself with more experience and power. And here they are, they're getting ready, sitting down on the throne. He goes, when was the last time you actually saw your great love? Oh, hundreds of years ago, thousands, I don't recall time anymore. It was after I killed that gold skin boy. What was his name? Adam. Oh yes, that was it. So he's talking about Adam Warlock. He's like, yeah, I killed Adam Warlock. And she was waiting for me after the battle, and then she just stood there, not saying a word, as if she was waiting for something more. I didn't know what it meant. It took so long to see it. I gave her everything. My enemies, my allies, my children, everything. And yet, so here it is, you know, death will never be satisfied, you know, until there's nothing left to kill. And then, boom! What is that? They're jumping up. Both Thanoses are on edge, because here he comes. That's the fallen one. It's the Silver Surfer, but all black and scary. And I don't have the next issue, so I couldn't find it anywhere. This series is hard to get, and when you do, I take it back. I could go to a couple of websites and pay, but it's like $94. So I put in a couple of cheap bids on eBay. I'm not paying $94 for these comics. So we'll see what happens. But I thought this was excellent. X-Men Red, here's an ad. Great. This is what I want from a comic. The art was fine. The coloring was outstanding. The lettering was fine. Carrie Bates, as far as I know, he understood the characters. You know, Thanos is arrogant. You know, the only person Thanos would actually consider talking to and confiding in would be himself, because he's an arrogant piece of crap. And he's a scarier, sociopathic, mass-murdering serial killer. He's not compassionate at all. He doesn't care about his children. He doesn't care about resources or anything like that. He's just killing. That's what Thanos means. Thanos, the Greek god of death, is Thanatos. And that's what he is. He's just death. He's just death. And his brother is Eros, life. And that's it. That's it. The movies changed Thanos. They're smart people. They did it, but I don't know. What do they think? It was too scary or something like that, or too unrealistic? You know, in a world where gigantic dwarves make magic hammers and stuff like that. I don't know. I think he would have been a more terrifying villain if he was just there to kill. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. I dig this comic. I thought it was a good comic. So, you know, even though I kind of soured on Marvel these days, it's there are some good stuff. I mean, this is 2016, so this is a couple of years ago. But yes, of course, there's some good stuff. And that's what I'm doing. I'm being more particular, because for $5 a comic, and then, you know, let's face it, a lot of the comics I just didn't like. So, you know, I want to still be, you know, I still want to be in this world. I love the Marvel world. You know, it's been something I've been interested in my whole life. So I keep looking for gems to find. So there you go. That's Thanos. And I started to ramble, and I realized it, and I stopped myself. So thanks a lot. Thanks for you taking time out of your busy day to listen to me ramble about comic books. I'm loving this. It's a lot of fun. You guys have been really, really cool with some great comments, and I'm just loving that stuff. So I'll see you tomorrow. So far, I'm keeping my New Year's resolution a video a day. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.